Good afternoon. Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk, powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. Thanks so much for joining me on this Monday afternoon as folks get ready to head home and kind of get ready for their Monday night. Just want to take a look at where we are seeing a few thunderstorms, especially for South Arkansas viewers, and just take a look at the forecast as we go through the rest of the day. And today's forecast made possible by the United Way of Northeast Louisiana and the 211 Initiative. Help is available in more than 150 languages when you dial 211, so no one's left without support during the storm. Again, look at the radar, and the radar made possible by Brown's Roofing, and where I had kind of captured the radar earlier to show you what was going on. That one lone storm kind of on the Calhoun-Ouachita County border in southern Arkansas has essentially dissipated. But where we have still seen some development is to the south, and in fact, in and around El Dorado, and whereas we're probably seeing some rain in town, but also east along Highway 63, the old Morro Bay Highway, where an isolated storm has bubbled up, maybe seeing some heavier downpours there. Again, maybe some 30 or 40 mile an hour wind gusts to be had with some of those storms as well. Most of the activity elsewhere has already kind of dwindled, but we also could still see some brief shower or storm potential over the next couple of hours. Rain cooled in Camden at 75, but it is very warm and very humid elsewhere. 93 in El Dorado, 95 in Monroe. Check of high temperatures since midnight. These are obviously unofficial because a lot of areas have already outperformed those high temperatures in the last hour, so that is an unofficial number there. I want to look at heat stress, and the reason I look at this is because early this afternoon went out and mowed the yard because it needed it, and I wanted to kind of beat the rain before anything isolated popped up. And it was a doozy out there, and obviously I didn't pick a really good time to go out and get that done. But a look at the heat stress as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow, above what we would call elevated, probably in the higher ranges as we go through the day. Again, this isn't out of the ordinary for our area. I don't want folks to look at this and go, he's never shown this before, it must be really bad. No, A, I'm showing it to you because I can, and B, I'm showing it to you to just remind you that heat stress is relatively high. Nothing extreme, nothing that is out of the ordinary for this time of the year, but it is something to keep in mind. And guess what? Wednesday, it's kind of the same story as we go through the peak heating hours of the afternoon. Again, this shouldn't be shocking, but make sure you keep the bottle of water handy and be smart with your outdoor time. Quick check of the satellite radar composite, and you can kind of see where the storms developed in northern Mississippi during the morning hours. And if you join me for the mid-morning or the early morning forecast, we were talking about how the leftover features from those storms could help to drive and spur along activity later in the day. And that's exactly what's happened across eastern Arkansas and southern Arkansas, where most of this activity, this rainfall, has been very isolated, but it has bubbled up from time to time. Look at the Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports, I-20 Frontage Road in Monroe. And I still can't rule out the possibility of an overnight shower or thunderstorm festering. Again, we woke up to storms in northern Mississippi. Why can't we join the party tomorrow? It is certainly a possibility, and the features will be in place that could support that. And then when you get the daytime heat and humidity really ramping up and going, that's where the isolated storms start to bubble up tomorrow afternoon. And as I mentioned, guess what? We'll do the same general thing on Wednesday. The upper level pattern breaks down enough to allow some rising motion in the air, warm air, humidity, all that combined. The bubble up showers and storms of summertime are kind of back, at least here for the short term. And that could bring some needed rainfall to the area, but those stronger storms can also produce heavy downpours, which are not necessarily as efficient in soaking in the rainfall, and then those 40 or 45 mile an hour wind gusts are not out of the question as well. Precip outlook over the next 6 to 10 days. I show this to you. I'm not going to show you the temperature outlooks because they're still all gloomy with all the above average temperatures, but I wanted to show you the precip outlook because it has green on it. 8 to 14 day, it has green on it too, which is good news. It means that we at least have the higher confidence of being above average, or a higher confidence of above average precipitation during those time frames. So again, latter half of the month of September, or at least maybe the last week of the month of September, perhaps a smidge more kind to us than the early half has been. Susan, Rena, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon as we take a look now at the infrared satellite over the open Atlantic. And you can see this big, large, sprawling tropical wave that continues to make its way westward, and we've been watching it for a while, and we've been kind of watching the tropics for a while to make sure that something like this didn't kind of crop up, and now again up to 50% in the next 2 days of tropical development, up to 90% over the next 7 days, as you start to see higher confidence of the central and eventually the western Atlantic dealing with something in the next week. The upper level pattern is also at a point where we can't really say with a lot of certainty where this thing's going to go. If it were to develop, it's way too early in the season to say with any kind of high degree of confidence it's not headed our direction. It's way too early to jump into those types of conversations. But obviously, something that we'll watch over the coming days. Jessica says, wouldn't mind some rain. So ready for the cooler weather. You and me both. You and me both. Again, if you just missed it, I had to mow my yard out in this thing. It was not fun today. Overnight lows tonight, low 70s. Again, a lingering overnight storm. You may even wake up to a rumble of thunder around sunrise tomorrow. Don't be surprised if that happens. That's why I also archive these live streams, so I can say, I said it, there it was. So, again, just kind of covering your own backside there. Daytime highs tomorrow in the mid-90s. Isolated afternoon storms again possible. Could see an early shower or storm, but the best chances out of that 20% are during the afternoon and evening. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Outdoor Equipment. And again, this has been updated from where I joined you midday. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Generally speaking, highs will stay in the low to mid-90s. Morning lows in the upper 60s to near 70. The highest rain chances of the week go from Friday and Saturday to Thursday and Friday. I wouldn't be surprised to see them waffle back and forth over the next week, but they do start to thin back out early next week, and I don't think folks want to hear this, but it looks like early next week that ridge starts to build back into place, and so the temperatures may climb back above or stay above normal for this time of year during that stretch. And that's why we also can't say with a whole lot of high degree of certainty where any kind of tropical system would go, because obviously upper level pattern continues to change. While I'm joining you here, I just also want to go back real quick to the storm out over portions of Union County. While we were watching the live stream, or starting the live stream, it looked a little bit more menacing than it does right now. That storm looks like it's kind of peaked in its overall intensity, but obviously we'll keep an eye on any development over the next few hours. What can you do to support the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank? Just follow us on all of our social media platforms, your favorite platforms. I almost blended those together. Sounds silly any way you slice it. Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. And support our business partners if you can, when you can. And thanks so much for joining us on this Monday. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. We'll take a look at the Tuesday forecast and to see if anything drastic has changed in the overall pattern, although I can't really suspect anything there. We'll keep an eye on the tropics as well, and an eye on the radar. Never know. We may wake up to a few isolated storms across the area tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody. Stay dry if you get caught in one of these isolated storms, and if you hear a rumble of thunder, head on inside. We'll keep an eye on the radar as well. Have a